started talking to me on MSN. Fuck off, you big-headed flog. We'll move along to Footscray. And I think this will be the last team that we look at for this week.
I think we've already looked at them a bit, mate, because Jinxie.
No, Footscray, mate, not Fitzroy.
Oh, are we going to go past? Okay, yep, got ya. Go for it.
We've already had a bit of a chat about it, so we'll move on to Affl, the infamous hard trader. I think we will start talking about his spine more than anything. I think he's got some absolute ripping quality there. Matty Cruiser, genuine superstar. No other word for it. Only regret I'd have would be trading him to Stipe at the end of my time at Fremantle, which ended up making him completely untradeable, even for any player on any list, on any team, anywhere. That was a bit of a mistake, but he does have a lot of quality around the ground. Travis Boak, Paul Bauer, very underrated. Could come back. He's had a pretty shit-house year with injury and off-field issues, I'll say. But next year, if he's given the opportunities to go down back and maybe replace Brett Thornton, who's only got the 1-year deal, then we could see a massive rise in value from Paul Bauer. And a couple of other good players there. Andrew Swallow, genuine gun. Nothing needs to be said there. David Mundy, Heath Grundy, all top-line players.
Yeah, as you say, he's got a great list. The only problem is when he posts someone as being untradeable, that literally means they're untradeable.
That means you would have to offer Joel Selwood and his firstborn son to come even close in negotiations.
Yeah, so it gets a little bit ridiculous at times, but RLL's the champion of the site. 3 flags in a row, so whatever he's doing, it's right.
That'll make Stoney happy hearing you say that.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here to do, impress Stoney, because if we say anything bad, you know what happens.
Yes, you would not want to talk shit about Stoney, or you would incur the infamous period that has been going on lately. But we won't get too much into that, in case this little podcast is deemed unworthy by said Stoney. So we'll move right along, I think, and talk about a couple of trades that happened during the week.
Yeah, we'll go through these pretty quickly because we're at the 18-minute mark at the moment, or 17-minute mark, so we'll get through these pretty quick. But I think the big one was the Adelaide Gav trade with Shammy at Melbourne. Trent Cotchin, Tom Rockcliffe and Luke Dalhouse for Dangerfield, Shuey, Maloney and Dorr. Personally, I think Gav smashes this. Just hugely. Rockcliffe's 111 average for a 21-year-old, and Cotchin, I think, is a year younger and he's averaging 103. I just don't understand why Shammy would do this.
Yeah, it's a hard. I probably disagree with you saying that it's an absolute smashing. I got a lot of time for Patrick Dangerfield being a quality midfielder and small forward, dual position player, which is insanely valuable on this side with the new rules that have come in this year. Luke Shuey, Maloney, both genuine starts. Maloney probably reached the ceiling, I would say.
And he's never averaged over 100, so...
Yeah, well, he averaged 99 this year. I suppose that would be close enough, but I wouldn't say that he's likely to improve next year. He'd be about 27, 28, I'd say. Shuey, on the other hand, 20-year-old, averaging 90, has the potential to break the game open whenever he touches the ball, which does look very good to Champion Data when they're posting out their bizarre Supercoach scores.
My main question about this trade is he trades out Dane Swan, he receives Trent Cotchin, and then he trades out Cotchin for Dangerfield, basically. If you looked at that, that's Swan for Dangerfield in the end.
Yeah, I see a point, and I'd say if he did think about it that way, as opposed to just seeing it on a deal-by-deal basis, that he probably would have rethought that, but at the time I think it was pretty well agreed that he had overpaid for Koch. But I like what he's doing. I like what Shammy has brought to the site. I think he's tried to put his own stamp on Melbourne, whereas Stipe sort of just did what he had to do to go through and get 2011. I do see why he's done this. I mean, Cochin, Rockcliffe, very good players. No denying it. Cochin, I think he averages 101, and Rockcliffe probably around the 110, 115 mark. Dalhouse, there are a couple of people that rate him, but personally, not a big fan of.
He's a 60, 70 player. That's about it.
Yeah, but I think you'd find his value is beyond that, just because he is a name player. People recognise him. Dangerfield, Shuey, Maloney gets three solid, if not good players. Dangerfield would be considered a lead. Maloney, he's handy to have, but probably not high on everybody's trade targets. But I think it's not a bad deal for both. Gav probably wins it, but Shammy hasn't done as badly as people have said.
Well, yeah, I think Shammy's done well at Melbourne. I just really haven't liked these last couple of trades from him, but that's all right. Move to the last one, which involved me at West Coast and Buff at Hawks. It was Nick Rewalt, Lenny Hayes and Brent Harvey for Joel Selwood and Stephen Milne. What's your thoughts on that?
I thought that you absolutely smashed that, which will bring joy to your heart, I'm sure. Always love having your tyres pumped up. I think Wolf, I'm not sure if he's really making a hard play for it this year, or if he's, sort of stepping back and sort of not pulling the trigger as of yet. But this trade has pretty much signalled his intentions to the rest of the premiership contenders, I'd imagine. Rewalt, champion, had an off year, probably the lowest his value has been for the past 4 years, I'd say. Lenny Hayes, big question mark, probably the decider of this deal, I would say. If Lenny Hayes does not pull up from his knee injury, there's sort of conflicting opinions on that. Will he, won't he? If he gets back, averages 90 plus, Wolf's done well out of this deal. Lenny Hayes is a champion player, but getting on in years, coming back from a very serious knee injury, not a fun one to look at either. If he comes back and puts in a champion season, then Buff would be very happy, and Brent Harvey say it every year that he's going to fall off, but he never does, so whatever happens this year, I'm sure he'll be at least 75, 80 plus. Your side, Stephen Milne.
Absolute spud. I absolutely hate Stephen Milne.
That'll make him very valuable in trade talks now that you've said that.
He'll probably get delisted. I have no interest in having Stephen Milne, so if someone wants him, he's all yours for a third rounder.
I'll probably be keen for one of my invaluable 80 plus picks.
Maybe not that high.
Moving along to the actual decent player that you did get, Joel Selwood, an absolute champion. Don't really need to talk too much about Joel Selwood. If you don't know how good he is, then probably shouldn't be on the site.
Yeah, I don't think this is such a bad trade for Buff, really. Rewalt, I think, is going to average over 100 next year. Lenny Hayes will be in the 90s, and so will Boomer. So I don't think that's a bad trade at all for Buff for his premiership tilt. We'll go over real quickly your trade with Snappy. You received Jack Redden. He received Dale Thomas and pick 96. Bit of a debate during the week of who people would rather. I think it's much the muchness. Redden's a lot younger and averaging better than what Thomas did at that stage in his career. So, but then again, Thomas is an elite now. So I think it's a good trade for both, but I would have preferred Redden.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They're both quality players. Thomas averages 110 in his fifth year. Redden averages 102 in his second. I'm completely okay with my end of the deal. Just personal preference, really. Would have been happy to keep neither of them. Snappy would be happy with it. I'm happy with it. Don't see why there was such a shitstorm over it.
All right, well, we'll move along because this is going for fucking ages. I've got a few quick questions for you, and then we'll log off for the day. Do you think Jinxie will stay around for the off season and all of next season?
I was at first sceptical after